All right, welcome back to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. I'm your host, Adam Smith, with Just the Tips Coaching. With me, pretty much as always, is our marketing director, one of our other coaches, all around superhuman, Mrs. Jen Waybore Hart. Hi, Jen.
I think that's the first time anybody's said that.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
which
kind of
is
gross.
funny because it's been a minute.
Yeah,
I
it
did
has.
mention off air, although I think it's pertinent, that I did get your thank you card from your wedding. So sweet of you guys to do that with your wedding photo. And it's got a beautiful picture of you and RJ, your newly betrothed. And the date stamp on there, because it was on my birthday, is really, really cool. It's kind of like you guys keep celebrating my birthday all
I
these
know.
months later. It's fantastic.
I got you the most epic birthday cake ever.
You did. That was an incredible birthday cake. All right. And welcome back to the show. One of our favorite guests, somebody I truly adore, even though he sucks at returning phone calls and responding to messages. I feel like I've been abandoned. Scott, the mortgage doc Edwards. Hi, Scotty.
How you doing, guys? I
We're
miss you
doing
both.
Good. Oh, terribly, man.
I know.
I wish I had more cause to be in the LA area, and we can certainly discuss what you do and where you do and how you do and
Absolutely.
all of that. But yeah, there's really only been one trip I've made out to California, to your part of California, since we finished your coaching program at Just the Tips.
Yep.
I went out there to pick up that automobile, and I think Brooke was really sick at the time.
Yes.
So we're like, yeah, let's not interact. Let's not get you sick. Let's not, trust me, you don't want to be around Brooke when she's got a man cold, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunately, it's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yes.
A year. We just talked about Momentum Builder,
Yes.
one of the great mortgage conferences on the planet.
Yep.
I would say not one of the best marketed mortgage conferences on the planet, but which is funny because I heard nothing about the event this year, which was just last month. And the year before, the only reason I'd heard about it was you.
Right.
And it was incredible. It was a small environment. I don't know if there was a bigger audience this year than last, but it was only about 300 or 400 people.
Yep.
So very intimate. The lineup of speakers then, and you had mentioned that it was a little different this year, and the format of how that was done was incredible. Anybody and everybody that you've seen or heard of on stage at a mortgage conference pretty much ever in the last couple of decades was at Momentum Builder.
Yep.
It was a ridiculously unbelievable cost for the event, and I don't know if that changed this year or not, but so effective to the point that pretty much everybody that attended paid for the VIP status.
Yep.
So that they could do everything, and we did. Lots of speakers, great luncheons, incredible location. I just was blown away that I never really heard anything about it this year. Yeah.
No, it was great. It really was a great event. They definitely went as far as marketing. Wasn't as much on Facebook. They went more direct to mortgage companies to try to get their, loan officers and those kind of things involved. And they're definitely going to be putting more into the Facebook, social media marketing for this year because it's going to be epic for next year. So they're already working on it. Yep.
Good. Yeah. The event, 13 months ago was absolutely out of this world. I was blown away. I could not say enough good things. Obviously, we do and see a lot of conferences in the mortgage space, the real estate space, and the social media space. Jen and I organize a couple of those, which really means Jen organizes a couple of those every year. And yeah, I was really impressed. I would change the format a little bit. I'm sorry I missed this year so that I could see how that shifted and potentially give Don and Gino a little more critique as to where they should shift. But yeah, the one 13 months ago was mind-boggling good as mortgage conferences go.
Yeah, and this year they did a great job. I think what they did differently this year, for just since you were there, is they did TED Talks, right? So it was really interesting. So the speakers had to find a way between 15 and about 20 minutes, which included Q&A, to be able to deliver a message, deliver something that was a takeaway, and it was great. Because sometimes you get a speaker who's up there who speaks for an hour, and they really could have condensed that into 15 minutes,
Sure.
right? So it was great. I mean, there was a lot of impactful information. Great party at the end this time. Instead of doing it at the beginning, they did it at the end, and everyone was a VIP this time. So
Okay.
no VIPs. Everyone had one. So
And everybody was named Ted.
that's right.
Okay. Because I was pretty sure that's when I first heard of what a TED Talk was, and what was that, probably 15 or 20 years ago. I was like, really? There's just a guy named Ted giving talks all over? But no, that's not actually what that means. So neither here nor there. Let's talk about the doc.
Let's do it.
What have you been up to in all this time? Because it has been a minute. Obviously, we saw you here on stage for the Mile High Mastermind talking about event planning.
Yep.
So that wasn't too long ago. That was back in September.
Yep.
That was an interesting day for sure, for those of you that were in attendance. That was a very strange day. But you're still heavy on event planning?
I am.
Good.
Am.
Okay. And how has that morphed and modified, and what things over the last 6 months have come to light? What have you learned? What are you doing differently? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think the big thing that we shifted to is the board of ambassadors that we have is our quasi networking group.
Right.
And so what we've done this time is that everyone who wants to be a part of it has to pay an annual fee. Right. So, and that annual fee goes into an account that is now managed by someone specifically. And then that money is then allocated towards the events. Right. So instead of it a per event, and we may have still per event items, but the board of ambassadors now all have collectively put in a significant amount of money into the kitty. So that way we can have our events, our dinners, everything covered. And that way we don't have to worry about when the event comes scrambling around for any financing. It's already there. It's already in the account. We have the budget ready to go. So I mean, that's the biggest shift that we've had this year, and really narrowing down those that want to be a part of the board of ambassadors, making sure that they that don't want to be a part of it are involved, right? It's not a money play. It's not I'm not looking for just money. It's a matter of like, they see the value, they see the opportunity, and they want to be engaged and help putting these events together, because we've gotten to a place where our events are big events and there's a lot of moving parts. So having more help is 100% needed and welcomed, because the event we have coming around the corner is our miniature golf tournament, and that's got 36 holes, 2 different golf courses that we have to get sponsors for. Anyway, it's a lot of moving parts on top of getting close to 300 people at the event. So so that's the biggest shift, I think, this year, is really diving into the board of ambassadors and really getting more involvement from them to help put these on.
This is really cool. I remember years ago when Jen first joined my team, and we kind of exposed her to, like within a week of her employment, I'm flying her out to Las Vegas for Mortgage Revolution.
Yeah.
And so we knew that events, conferences, these kinds of things were a big deal. We agreed to buy the Social Media Day company and take over those conferences. And I remember Jen saying that event planning was her jam. I think those were the exact words. She's nodding. Jen, it sounds like Scott may be the kind of guy who is event planning is his jam.
I think Scott's probably the only other person that loves event planning as much as I do. So I remember you making fun of me for saying it was my jam, and then you realized it really was my jam.
It is your jam, no doubt.
I do.
And it sounds like it might be Scott's jam. We should hire him away.
Yeah, I love
from himself, right?
I love the creativity aspect of it, right? I love getting in I love the events. I love what happens at the events. I mean, I love that stuff. But don't get me wrong. I look forward to the day I can have someone who literally I can just oversee and guide.
Right, instead of the nitty-gritty.
No. I undersee and just show up at the right time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I look
sure.
forward to that day. I mean, I think the big thing also, the new thing that we've added this year is so for real estate agents, right? I never understand this, right? So let me ask you this. So if you owned a restaurant, what's the one of the things that you would do is as you were about to open the restaurant, what would you do?
Get fatter.
Get better, get
No,
fatter?
fatter. Yeah.
Fatter. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than getting fatter, what else would you do to market your restaurant? Let everybody know you're
Oh.
here.
These are good questions. Well, I'd have to put social media on the list.
Okay, that's one.
No,
Okay,
no
what
question
else?
about that. I'd probably actually want to do some kind of print media. And I don't know if that's flyers or mailers or newspapers or local guides or, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get into the Michelin guide, before you open your doors,
No.
but there's got to be something to that. Although I'm going to be honest, all I know about the bar and restaurant business is that it is literally like the armpit of retail, one of the most difficult businesses to run successfully on the planet. Most of them are gone in short order. They all have undercapitalization, and I wouldn't want to have anything to do with
it. So interesting enough, right? So what I didn't hear is would you do a grand opening?
Yeah, I guess I would.
Right. So you would do a grand opening. You'd probably contact the local chamber, say, hey, I'm opening up this restaurant. I want to let the community know. I want to do a ribbon cutting. So assuming that's what restaurants do or business owners do, if you're a real estate agent and you're coached and you're told that, hey, you need to treat your real estate as a business, why don't real estate agents do grand openings?
Well, some do. I have seen it. In fact, you would have met a former coaching client of ours, Stephen, in San Jose. No, for Fresno. Okay. Stephen was in Fresno. With a really cool company, Western Pioneer, that does both real estate and mortgage.
Love it.
And they did have a grand opening. We attended. It was in the summer, and it was 130 degrees, and everything was out in the parking lot. It was insane. I hate the heat. Most of the people who know me, consume my content, know that I'll take 0 over 100 any day. So I wasn't a big fan of the climate in Fresno for that particular event, but we do see it from time to time. But you are right. It is 1 in 1,000, and I might be being generous there as far as how many real estate agents, real estate companies actually do it.
Right. In most cases, it's the company, right? It's the company letting everybody know, right?
Sure.
But I'm literally going to the one agent, right? Because nobody, if I'm a client, I don't know who the broker is.
And you don't care.
I don't care, right? I'm working with the agent, right? So, but I work with a lot of new agents, and I always tell them, like, what a great way for you to let everybody know in your sphere, your family, your friends, your social media, right? That, hey, I do real estate. Then doing a grand opening. It's cost effective. Maybe you have 30, 50, 60 people that you got to feed. The time is maybe an hour, hour and a half, right? But the biggest thing, the biggest thing that we have everyone do with these grand openings, because that's what we're doing. I've got a few agents that we're doing grand openings this year. And we have everyone fill out a survey. And that survey is very simple, right? For them to enter into our door prize entry form. And that is, who do you know that I should know? Right? Who do you know?
Where'd you get that line?
Yeah,
okay, go on.
I love it. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who's looking to sell or buy, invest in real estate? Put the time frames, right? These are yes or no questions. And then if you're looking for something specific in your sphere, like some of them are looking for divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, CPAs, right? Now you're getting a new agent to develop their network, right? By one event, right? The power of this event is so incredible that they walk away with so much opportunity afterwards. And you're calling all your people to invite them to a party. Who doesn't want to get invited to a party?
I don't know. How late is this party going to go? No, I'm kidding. And Scott, we know that you're doing this, and we know that your ability to gather data and generate leads for the leads from your events is second to none. There's no question about it. I think there are a couple of things that are really, really important here that Jen and I talk about a lot that really fall within this. And one of them is when we talk about branding with our coaching clients. You're a great example. We know Mortgage Doc branding through and through. to the point where I'm not even sure what company you work for.
Right.
Where you're getting the money to give to your clients. And you know what? I don't care.
Right.
And whoever that is, we know one time it was Finance of America.
Yep.
It was and might still be PRMG.
It is. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
But those companies don't need Scott's help branding. They have people and dollars for that.
Mm-hmm.
Scott works on branding Scott. Scott works on branding the mortgage doc. And what Scott is bringing to these newer agents when he's describing these grand opening events, he is helping the agent brand the agent. So for all of you that think this is a good idea, and by the way, it really fucking is, the difference here is what Scott had mentioned that, yeah, a RE/MAX office will do a grand opening in it.
Right.
Keller Williams office might do a grand opening.
Yep.
And if you're an agent in that office and you are pushing that branding, you're pushing that event, they have people and dollars for that.
Mm-hmm.
Keller Williams does not need your help with branding. You need to be focusing on branding you.
Yep.
The Bob Jones real estate team at Keller Williams.
Yep.
Right. We see this a lot in the mortgage space now, too. A lot of it with some of these bigger companies like Nexa. Great example. And we have had and do have quite a few coaching clients with Nexa. And please, for the love of God, all of you in mortgages, real estate, insurance, financial planning, whatever, please brand you.
100%.
Please brand yourself.
Yeah.
Allstate does not need your help. They have people and dollars for that. They have fucking Mayhem, for crying out loud. How are you going to top Mayhem in your branding? Okay. Same kind of thing with Edward Jones.
Yep.
How are you going to top their branding as the little one-off Edward Jones guy, the mortgage guy, the real estate guy, or gal? Sorry, girl, woman, whatever. So please, yeah, Jen and I preach this all the time. Your big company, whatever it is, PRMG, doesn't need Scott's help branding. They have people and money for that. And Scott, yeah, we know, is the mortgage doc, right? And all of our coaching clients do this kind of stuff. In fact, you and I started down this path long before your 1-year program with us.
We did.
Mortgage Revolution.
That's right.
I don't think it was the same year.
No.
But you still had your stethoscope.
I did.
And I said, Scott, if your pre-approval letter doesn't look like a fucking prescription pad, there's a problem. and you were like, oh shit, light bulb. And now all of a sudden, I'm really embarrassed right now because I don't even have a little doc. I have a half a dozen freaking little docs, and they're all in my office. There's little
Mine's
docs.
in my office too.
Right. So, but the branding that has gone into the mortgage doc, the little doc, all of the doc is what we're trying to express to people here.
Yep.
And hopefully you're taking that to the streets with these agents doing these events to, have, oh my gosh, just, it is immeasurable traction. You can reach out to everybody about your grand opening.
100%.
You can see everybody at your grand opening.
Yep.
You can do social media promotion about your grand opening. I mean, just on and on, the amount of traction you could get out of something so simple. With negligible people, unless you invite Adam, then that number is going to double. Right. But yeah, really solid shit here, Scott. Thank you. This
You're
is
welcome.
why we want you speaking on events at our event every year. So,
So let me do a little spin on this, right? So, because people are going to be watching this and go, well, I'm not a new real estate agent, right? This doesn't apply to me.
Yeah,
Well,
like that matters. Okay.
Right, but
your grand reopening.
Or milestone celebration.
Right.
I mean, I don't care.
We tried to do one of those, Adam.
Yeah, let's just put it up there publicly that what is the name of that whole social Punch Bowl Social?
Punch Bowl Social. Yeah.
That canceled our 15th anniversary party. COVID. Right? We're about to hit 19. We'll do something big for 20 at the Core Finance Group at my mortgage company.
Yeah.
But in year 15, we planned a huge event.
Right.
They took our deposit and never gave it back.
Oh,
they offered us gift cards.
They did offer us, no. They were like play cards. They offered to refund our deposit with video game play cards.
Oh my God.
for a business that may not even be in business by then. They did file for bankruptcy. That knocked us way down the totem pole of money that was owed. We're never going to see it. So, yeah, thank you to Punch Bowl Social for not hosting our 15th anniversary party and never refunding our deposit. You guys rock. All right, so there's a plug for Punch Bowl. But, yeah, hit us, Scott. What do you think about milestone events? How would I brand that? How would I promote that?
It's the exact same way. I was literally talking to an agent. He says, Scott, I love what you're doing for this agent you're doing this with. I'm really excited for, but I've been in the business for a few years. I said, well, why not just call it a milestone celebration? What year does it have to be that it has to be a milestone? I mean, 3 years is a milestone. 1 year, 2 years, does it matter, right? End of the day, you're inviting people to a party, and you're going to have the same premise, which is everyone comes, fills out the survey, the data is still there, right? I mean, this agent's still in a place where he doesn't have enough business to generate. So what a great way then to generate your sphere, create opportunities in a way that's personable, relationship. I mean, honestly, I think this is where we're going, by the way. I think we've been going this direction with, I don't want to get into the NAR situation, but
let's not do that today. Oh my God, what a weekend it's been. Wow.
But I do think, without getting that's where we're going, like direct to consumer, direct to the client, right? So, and this is a way to do that through events. And I do have to give a shout out to Michael Mayer, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know all this stuff. And so big shout out to Michael Mayer, who wrote the 7 Levels of Communication. So, but no, I mean, I love events.
Scott, are you still planning on penning a book?
Oh man, I have
put that on the back burner. I haven't really got to harass you face to face.
I know
about your book. All right,
I know. I think what else? I mean, other events, right? So I did a housewarming party for a client literally just 2 weekends ago, where she had 75 of her close neighbors and family and friends at an event, and opportunities created from that, like from people wanting to refinance or sell or buy in other states. So I just think that events are just a great way to generate business than buying online leads or buying certain things. The trust level is so hard to develop. Whereas when I'm at the housewarming party with the client who thought she couldn't buy a home, is now in a home, is super excited to walk me around the room saying, hey, this is the guy who got me the house. Right. So, I just think events are great, and I'm a huge advocate for events. I love events. I don't know.
I think it's a big deal. Well, and I think a big piece of this, of course, is another major focal point, and you know this because you've been through our entire program and then some, is that we really, really want people focusing. Because of this direct-to-consumer type of mentality, we really want people focusing on the who you are, not what you do. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, if your audiences, whether that's your contact database and you're doing text campaigns, mail campaigns, email campaigns, phone campaigns, whatever, voicemail, etc., or your social media audiences, whatever it is, if your audiences don't already know what you do, there's an inherent problem. We got to go back to, sales and marketing 101.
Mm-hmm.
What we're seeing now, and we've developed this for years, possibly decades, because, just as the American consumer, we are so fed up with commercials and being sold to and being target audience and blah, 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 that people want to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Much, much more than they want to know what you do.
100%.
So, like this kind of an event, the housewarming is a great example. Yeah, there is this subtext. There is this really subtle, tiny, negligible, less than 10%, yet everybody's getting it, of what Scott does.
Right.
And working the room, as you put it, is a big amount of who you are. You get to really show a lot of people who you are. And they're all going to know what you do, which you don't have to focus on.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely spectacular kind of stuff that way. And another big thing I think our audience really needs to have in the back of their mind for the rest of your career, all of you, people want to know who you are, not what you do.
Right.
Okay. That's how we make these real connections.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we make sure people understand that We're not trying to sell you. We're trying to help you. We're
100%.
trying to solve problems. We're trying to ease pain points, whatever the case may be. And by the way, if you're in California and you don't think you can buy a home, you better talk to the mortgage doc. Because and if memory serves, Scotty, especially if you're self-employed.
Yes.
If memory serves, your uncanny ability to tear apart, analyze, and rebuild a self-employed individual's income structure, tax returns, so on and so forth is probably second to none in the state of California. So, yeah, there's my plug. That's fairly shameless, but yeah, if you guys are on the fence about buying a home, if you don't think you can buy a home, if you don't think you can qualify, you better reach out to the mortgage doc, because I'd be surprised if he can't find a way to make that shit happen. So, I mean, this person you were just describing probably thought for the entirety of her adult life that she couldn't own a home.
That's correct.
Be able to own a home.
And
now she owns the home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're going to put those consumer myths to rest. So if you are that consumer, then please, let's go take a look. See if you can figure out how to put that to rest. All right. So what's coming? Come on, man. I mean, you've been doing this a long time. I mean, you and I just covered a decade of history with each other.
I know.
From at these conferences that you used to have short hair, shorter than mine.
I did. Now, like,
yeah. And, not to quote too many movies and memes and gifs as we roll, but now you're Mr. Sensitive Ponytail Man. I know. But
see,
you got to have something on the horizon. What are you eyeballing next? What do you think is going to be the mortgage doc's next hill to climb, mountain to conquer? I'm going to poke the bear a little bit.
Wow.
Here.
Wow.
Tell me what's going on with your team. What does that look like these days? How's your team structure put together?
Yeah.
Who's still there that Jen and I know, love, and adore?
Yeah. I mean, John is still there with me.
Okay.
Rick Penn and Larry. Yeah.
Rick's an animated character for sure.
He is.
Larry's an animated character for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I got the back end ladies, which is Tina and then Deanne that help with the processing and getting the files closed for us. But that's basic of the team. I'm trying to think of the horizon. I mean, I to be frank, I think I would love to share. I've really loved sharing all of the stuff and working with people around events and like generating business through like working right next to a Keller Williams office has been great because there's a lot of new agents, right? So they soak up
Keller Williams, sure.
Yeah, so they soak up so much information of wanting to do something, right? So it's very intriguing to help at that level. So I think that I'd love to speak more. I'd love to be in front of more people to speak.
Were you one of the TEDs?
I wasn't. No, I was not. Michael Mayer did speak, but he had incredible speech and he gave me a shout out during the event, but I did not speak. No.
All right.
But yeah, I look forward to the day where I'm actually in front of fellow loan officers, real estate agents, where I'm speaking more, talking about how to really generate business through this. So I think.
Why do you think we've kept you in our pocket all this time?
I appreciate it.
You're a fucking rock star at it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Jen, make sure Scott's on the books to speak at Mastermind again.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's make that happen. And of course, Scott, you're always welcome at Social Media Day.
Oh, I appreciate that. Absolutely.
Which is actually going to be here before any of us know it. Sorry, Jen.
Thanks for that.
Deep breath.
So Jen really does all the event planning, as you know. And then Jen also oversees all the event planning for the people doing the actual event planning. So, Jen's got a lot of work on her plate when we try to
shout out to Mindy. I literally could not do it without Min. So
true story.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, absolutely could not.
All right. Apparently, I'm not going to get any kind of kudos out of that. But
I
will show up on time.
I will at least give you some kudos, Adam. So honestly, I can't thank you enough for all of the coaching that we've had, and I miss our weekly calls, man.
No
I
doubt.
truly do, man. So It was an absolute pleasure and honor. And if you're watching this and wondering where your business is at and you're looking for a coach, honestly, Adam is incredible. He really is.
And okay, I'm going to flip that, because if not for you, Jen and I would not have expanded our horizons. You have referred a number of coaching clients from other walks of life.
Yes.
And you're absolutely right as far as when it comes down to the job, when it comes down to generating leads, when it comes down to finding borrowers, if you're an agent finding buyers and sellers, if you're an insurance agent finding insurers, financial planners finding clients, there are so many other walks of life that I don't think Jen and I had opened our eyes to until you started referring these people to us, like divorce attorneys.
Yeah.
That guy's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you are running a small family practice law firm, guess what? The job is the same. You need to figure out how to find clients.
Yep.
And you need to figure out how to structure your team and business so that you can do the job of finding more clients.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing. And yeah, you have been instrumental in opening our eyes too, where we've been able to expand our platform and take other industries into our fold. So yeah, thank you for that. And Jen, yeah, wink, wink. Well, I know we're going to run over time. We always do a Scott. It's Scott. and he doesn't return my calls and he never writes. So I got to milk as much time with the doc as I can. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to see me, getting online and booking a trip to the Little Burbank Airport today, but, which by the way, is a fantastic way to travel to the LA area. For those of you that aren't familiar, if you are going to California, stay away from LAX. Good God.
Oh, yeah.
You only do that if you're going to Asia or Hawaii. You don't have to actually leave the airport. Good God. In any case, Jen, bring us up to speed. I kind of, fed you a little bit of line there with the events coming up, but we have events coming up.
We do. Ooh. I do want to say, I love Scotty's point that every year, every anniversary is a milestone with a business. So you don't have to wait for 20 years.
So you're going to plan a party for us next month?
No, I'm not.
All right, because 19 is, we'll have been, Colorado Real Estate Finance Group will have been in business 19 years next month.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't think Mindy would be happy if we told her right now that we're planning a party for next
She's
month.
watching.
I know.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the comment. I'm waiting for it. Yeah. But I think my business is 6 years old, and most businesses don't make it past, I think it's 3 years, and the percentage drops drastically at 5. So I just wanted to say I love that point. But yes, Social Media Day Denver is coming up very quickly, Friday, June 14th. We still have a couple speaker spots. If you are interested in speaking, sponsoring any of that, you can reach out to me at smdaydenver@gmail.com. A big thank you to Metro State University for partnering with us on that one. Sorry, Mindy just made me laugh. For those of you listening, Mindy said she's going to get a box.
Her job. If we plan a 19th anniversary party, Mindy is quitting her job. Cool.
Other than that, Mile High Mastermind will also be here before we know it. That is our big 2-day conference that we partner with the University of Denver. They give us a beautiful space to work with over there. Lots of information will be coming on that very soon. But if you want to find out more about Just the Tips, you can go to our website, will be my suggestion right now, justthetipscoaching.com. You can get past episodes of the show, our weekly little tip, book a free hour, copies of Adam's books, literally all the things. So again, that's justthetipscoaching.com.
Cool. Thanks, Jen. And thank you, Scott.
You're very welcome.
Our relationship with you, and I think Jen feels the same way, is something I can't put into verbal, tangible English words. We have so much respect, admiration, concern, joy when we're with you and around you and working with you and talking to you. You are a bright light in our worlds, buddy.
I feel the same about you too.
So Jen, get Scott booked for another episode for sure. And definitely get Scott booked for the Mile High Mastermind last weekend in September again, Scotty, as always.
Okay.
And we love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
All right. For the rest of you watching or listening live or in syndication, you can catch these live. They are kind of entertaining live because it's live. But we do our video cast on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube Monday mornings at 9:30 Pacific time, 12:30 Eastern time. Everybody but Arizona back on daylight savings now, at least. And you can catch the podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon on Wednesdays, a mere 48 hours later. So those of you tuning in, thanks for doing so, whether that's live or in syndication. And we'll catch you next week with another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. Take care.